Me and Static always wrote, because Static wrote songs, he wrote a lot of Genuine records. He wrote Pony.
Jeremy, thank you. Louisville R&B star Stephen Garrett was laid to rest today. Known in the music industry as Static, Garrett died Monday from complications from a medical procedure. He was only 33 years old.
The tragic truth about the Static Major murder revealed is shaking up fans and insiders alike. The circumstances surrounding his death have sparked numerous speculations. Some say his passing was too convenient, coming just days before Lil Wayne's hit Lollipop dropped.
Oh man, Static wrote that record. Like, I was in my zone. I was in my bag. That was just like another hit for me.
Music insiders whispered about secrets he might have held, information that could have shaken the industry to its core.
The plane, just after taking off for Florida in perfect weather, suddenly plummeted to the ground. Investigators now saying one of the engines apparently failed. Along with 8 passengers, Aaliyah, a young Brooklyn native and a talented singer and actress.
His close ties to Aaliyah, whose death remains clouded in mystery, only fueled these dark theories. Was Static Major silenced because he knew too much? Or was medical negligence to blame? Let's uncover the chilling story the music world tried to hide.
Shine the whip, back to the carpet, then curl the strip.
A rumor spread that songs he had written and recorded were sold to other artists. These songs were not just beats or samples. They were full songs that Static had created for himself. But because he was signed to a music label, the label owned those recordings. This means the label had the right to sell those songs. Some say other artists bought those songs and released them as if they made them. They didn't give Static any credit. They didn't even mention his name. People feel this was very unfair, especially because Static put his heart into his work. Static Major was a very talented man. He wrote many hit songs that became #1 on the charts. Did you know that the song "Look What You've Done" was made by Static? He freestyled it, meaning he came up with the lyrics and melody on the spot without writing it down first. After he died, a video came out showing him in the studio recording that very song. Later, the same song appeared on Drake's album, Take Care. Drake didn't create that song from scratch. Static had already done the work. There are also rumors that Lil Wayne used a few of Static's old demos. People say Lil Wayne re-recorded those songs and acted like they were his own. Just 1 month after Static died, Lil Wayne released the song Lollipop. That song became a massive hit. What many people don't know is that Static Major wrote and produced Lollipop. This song helped Lil Wayne become a big name in pop and rap music. It was his highest charting song ever. It reached #1 on the music charts. In fact, Lollipop was the first rap song to hit #1 since 2006. That success was mostly because of Static's writing and music skills. Static's work did not stop getting attention after he passed. In 2009, he won a Grammy Award for Lollipop. He wasn't alive to accept the award, but his name was still listed as a winner. Static also worked with big names like Timbaland and wrote many R&B and hip-hop classics. He even helped make Aaliyah's hit song, Are You That Somebody? People still miss him today. He was more than just a songwriter. He was a true music genius.
Jeremy, thank you. Louisville R&B star Stephen Garrett was laid to rest today. Known in the music industry as Static, Garrett died Monday from complications from a medical procedure. He was only 33 years old.
Stephen Garrett, better known as Static Major, was a talented music artist and songwriter. Many people knew him for co-writing the hit song Lollipop with rapper Lil Wayne. He died in 2008, just 16 days before the Lollipop song came out. His death was sudden and shocking, especially because he was only 33 years old. His fans and family were heartbroken, and many questions were raised about what really happened in the hospital. Some believe his death could have been prevented. Static had a rare disease called myasthenia gravis. This is a condition that affects the muscles and makes it hard to move or breathe.
Patients have myasthenia gravis, they experience weakness that can range from a little bit of weakness of the eye muscles to weakness of the head and neck muscles, and even to the diaphragm, which plays a critical role in being able to breathe.
A lot of people believe his death might have been preventable. That means they think he didn't have to die that day. Some of his family and close friends have spoken about this. They said they have doubts about the way the hospital handled things. Some even say the doctors might have made mistakes that cost him his life. When someone dies in a hospital after a normal procedure, it always raises questions. People start to wonder if something went wrong behind the scenes. The idea of a routine procedure gone wrong is another big part of the theory. He wasn't supposed to die. It was a simple treatment, something many people go through without any problems. But for Static Major, things went very wrong. Some people think the medical team didn't act fast enough when problems started. Others say they might not have followed the right steps. Maybe they didn't give him the right care. These kinds of thoughts have made people even more suspicious. It's hard for fans and family to understand how a routine procedure could turn deadly unless something was mishandled. A lot of the talk focuses on the use of anesthesia during the procedure. Anesthesia is the medicine used to put someone to sleep during surgery. If too much is given, or if the person is not watched closely, it can be dangerous. Some people online have said may have been mistakes. With the anesthesia used on Static Major, maybe the doctors didn't watch his breathing or heart rate the way they should have. Medical experts who looked into the case have said it's possible that bad monitoring could have led to his death. This has made people even more sure that something went wrong, either a terrible mistake or something worse. Fans and some bloggers have taken a deep interest in these details. They want answers, but they say they aren't getting any. The hospital hasn't given much information to the public. That leaves room for people to make guesses. When people feel like the truth is being hidden, they start filling in the blanks themselves. This is how conspiracy theories grow. The more silence there is, the more questions people have. The story is, in 2008, Static checked into Baptist Hospital East in Louisville, Kentucky for treatment. The doctors decided to place a special tube called a dialysis catheter into his body to help manage his condition. This tube was meant to help remove waste from his blood. But something went wrong. The catheter was not placed correctly. It caused Static a lot of pain, and sadly, he died only hours later. Dr. Dean J. Wickel was the surgeon who put the catheter into Static's body. He later said that he didn't know Static was in pain after the procedure. He said the nurse who was with Static, Diane Richards, did not tell him that the patient was complaining. If he had known Static was hurting, Dr. Wickel said he would not have allowed the nurse to remove the catheter by herself. He said he would have come back to the hospital and taken it out himself. In a sworn statement, Dr. Wickel said, "I would not have left the hospital if I knew he was in that kind of pain." Nurse Diane Richards had a different story. She said that Static kept saying he was in serious pain. She remembered him saying things like, "This hurts too much. There's something wrong in my organs." She thought this was strange and wrote it down, but it seems the information never got to Dr. Wickel. This mix-up may have been the key moment that led to Static's death. If the nurse and doctor had spoken more clearly, maybe the situation would have ended differently. After placing the catheter, Dr. Wickel later checked Static's x-rays and saw that the catheter was not in the right place. He then called the nurse and told her to remove it. He believed it would be okay to remove the catheter that night and replace it the next morning. But when the nurse removed the catheter from Static's neck, things went very wrong. Static started to lose consciousness. Soon after, he died. The doctors tried to save him, but it was too late. The cause of Static's death was listed as medical complications due to catheter placement, according to the Jefferson County Coroner's Office. This means that his death was related to problems with how the catheter was placed in his body. His family was devastated. They later filed a lawsuit claiming medical negligence. This means they believe the hospital and the doctor made serious mistakes that led to Static's death. The lawsuit is still going on, and it may take years before a final decision is made. Dr. Wickle's lawyer, Donald Brown, said the doctor was very upset by what happened. He said his client had always been careful and followed the rules he was trained to follow. Anytime someone works hard to help people and something goes wrong, it affects them deeply, said Brown. He also said that Dr. Wickle has a very good history as a doctor and had never had serious problems before. But even he admitted during his video testimony that the catheter had been placed incorrectly. In his statement, Dr. Wickle also said he could not be sure what caused Static's death. He said maybe the catheter removal caused problems, or maybe it was a mix of the disease and the catheter mistake. He said he just didn't know for sure. But that uncertainty is part of what makes the case so serious. When doctors are unsure, it shows that something may have been missed or handled poorly. The family's lawyers are still asking the hospital for more information. They want to know who was in the room with Static during his stay. They believe this person might help answer more questions about what happened. But the hospital is refusing to share the name of Static's hospital roommate. They say privacy laws stop them from giving that information out. This has become another battle in the ongoing lawsuit. The judge in the case may have to decide if the hospital must release the name or not. Some people have also spoken about how Static Major's death was handled in the music industry. Some people thought it was wrong to release Lollipop right after Static's death. They said it felt like the music company was using his death to sell more records. Others thought it was a good thing because it helped honor Static's work. It helped fans remember him and showed how talented he was. Still, the debate continues today. People are not sure if it was a respectful tribute or a business move. Not everyone knew his name. In the music world, this happens often. Songwriters work behind the scenes and don't always get the spotlight. Static was one of those people. Even though he wrote hit songs, his name wasn't always mentioned. Some say this shows a bigger problem in the music industry. Songwriters are often forgotten, even though they create the music we love. Before he died, Static was working on a solo album. Many fans were excited about it, but after he passed away, the album was delayed. It still has not been fully released. Some people think it was delayed because of problems with record labels or with the people managing his career. Others think maybe there were disagreements over money or music rights. No one knows for sure, but fans still hope that one day the album will be shared with the world. There were also arguments about who should get credit for writing songs that Static worked on. After he passed away, some people claimed they helped write songs that he worked hard on. This caused more drama. In the music world, credit matters a lot. It affects how much money someone earns and how people remember them. Static's family and friends wanted to make sure he got the credit he deserved. Like I said earlier, Static worked with many big names in the music industry. He helped make hits for stars like Aaliyah, Genuine, and Lil Wayne. Some fans feel that maybe someone wanted him out of the picture. Maybe his death helped someone else's career or success. It's not easy to prove, but this kind of thinking has made many people suspicious. The music world has a dark side, and some believe this is one of those hidden stories. Another theory is that Static Major knew too much. This means people think he had secret information. He might have known things about the music industry that were supposed to stay hidden. Some say he could have been a threat to others. If he spoke out, he might have exposed dark truths. People who believe this theory think he was silenced before he could reveal anything. It's a scary thought, but many fans talk about this online. They say his sudden death doesn't feel natural. They think it was not just a medical mistake or a sad event. Instead, they believe someone might have planned it to keep him quiet. This idea makes people even more curious about what really happened to him. Many people have also noticed that Static Major's death is not the only one that seems strange. Some compare it to Aaliyah's death.
The plane, just after taking off for Florida in perfect weather, suddenly plummeted to the ground. Investigators now saying one of the engines apparently failed. Along with 8 passengers, Aaliyah, a young Brooklyn native and a talented singer and actress.
She was also close to Static Major. Aaliyah died in a plane crash when she was very young and just starting to reach her peak in fame. Her death also had many questions and theories around it. People noticed that both of them died at important times in their careers. Both were working on big projects. Both had a bright future ahead of them. This made some fans believe that their deaths are somehow connected. It may sound unbelievable, but fans say there is a pattern. Young, successful black artists dying suddenly before they reach their full potential. Some people believe the music industry has secrets and hidden rules. They think that sometimes when someone becomes too powerful or too knowledgeable, they are removed quietly. It's a dark theory, but it keeps coming up whenever an artist dies young. Static Major, like Aaliyah, was on the edge of even greater fame. That's why people believe there might be more to the story than just an accident or health issue. Another thing that keeps the theories alive is the silence from Static Major's close family and friends. They haven't talked much about what really happened. Some people understand this. Maybe they are grieving and want privacy. Losing a loved one is painful. But others feel that staying quiet only makes things look more suspicious. If something was wrong, why not speak out? If everything was normal, why not explain it clearly? This silence has made many people wonder if the family is afraid to speak up, or maybe they were asked not to. Some fans say this silence makes them feel like something is being hidden.
So Static set us down and really taught us how to write songs. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody really expected the quiet kid from Louisville to turn into one of the slickest pens in R&B. But Static Major, yeah, he was different. He grew up in a house where music wasn't optional. His mom ran the church choir, so he was basically raised on harmonies and Sunday solos. Before he could even tie his shoes properly, he was out here leading a full choir on local TV. Like 3 years old and already booking more gigs than most adults. But once he hit his teens, he switched lanes. Singing wasn't exactly the move in his part of town. It was all about bars and swagger. So he tucked the vocals away and started rapping instead. Church folks knew what he could really do, but outside, nobody had a clue. He even had a short gospel group run with some local friends, battling other singers in the area, not knowing some of those same dudes would end up on stage with him years later. And then life hit hard. His older sister, Melinda, got sick. Like, seriously sick. She needed a rare kind of transplant that barely ever happens, and the whole process was a mess. The hospital wasn't giving her the care she deserved, and it all ended in heartbreak. She passed way too young, left behind a daughter, and Steven was never the same. He started spiraling. School didn't matter. Respect for doctors? Gone. The grief had him acting out, and eventually he got shipped off to this alternative program for kids that were too much for regular classrooms. But here's the twist. That's where everything changed. They had this big event, and someone asked him to sing the national anthem. He did, and shut the whole thing down. People were floored. That voice, that presence, it was undeniable. Next thing he knew, he was handed a full scholarship to study music at a university. While all that was happening, 2 guys from back in the day circled back, Jawan and Benjamin. They had this R&B group with a corny name and needed a new member. Steven slid through, sang a little something, and that was it. They weren't letting him go. Around this time, he started thinking bigger. He needed a name that hit harder. One day, he heard a rap line about causing chaos in the industry and thought, yeah, that's the energy. So he started calling himself Static. Later on, when other artists popped up using the same thing, he slapped Major on the end. Problem solved. Before Static officially joined the group, the guys randomly performed for Devontae's Swing from Jodeci backstage at a show. Total shot in the dark. But Devontae was into it, said he'd sign them once his label was ready. And when he heard them again with Static in the mix, he was sold. Back in Louisville, though, Static's life was going off the rails. Skipping class, flunking everything, crashed his mom's car. Things were tense. He was over it. Called Devante, said he was ready, got flown out solo. First one to move. That move changed the whole game. He landed in this chaotic house in upstate New York with 20+ other creatives. No sleep, no money, just non-stop hustle. It was swing mob, but folks called it the basement. Timbaland was in there. Missy.
Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse.
Genuine. Tweet. All future legends, all broke and starving, literally. Eventually, Devante renamed the group Playa, said they moved like old souls. The name stuck. Devante focused all his energy on Jodeci, so the rest of the crew got scraps. A soundtrack placement here and there, but no real push. Money was tight. Some days, they'd eat noodles or just drink water and sleep early to forget they were hungry. The energy in the house could get tense, sometimes violent, and one by one, people started leaving. Playa stayed the longest, but even they dipped once they linked with Barry Hankerson and signed with Def Jam. Devante wasn't happy, but it was done. Right after that, everything started clicking.
Me and Static always wrote, because Static wrote songs, he wrote a lot of Genuine records. He wrote Pony.
Genuine left and dropped Pony, a song he, Static, and Timbaland made 2 years earlier. It exploded, made stars out of all three. Static finally got his flowers and his first big songwriting check.
Oh man, Static wrote that record. Like, I was in my zone. I was in my bag. That was just like another hit for me.
Playa finally dropped their first single, and it did. All right, Don't Stop the Music made some noise, but nothing crazy. It charted, got a little love, but it didn't flip their world. Meanwhile, Missy and Timbaland were everywhere, dropping hit after hit, putting on new artists, building their own squad. Playa still kind of floating around the edges. They showed up in a few music videos, Up Jumps Da Boogie, Make It Hot, but their real moment hadn't hit yet. Then came Cheers to You. That one hit different. Classic late 90s R&B energy. It was their biggest song. It actually stuck around on the charts and gave them that shine they'd been working for. The best part? They weren't just singing on it. Static, Smokey, and Black were writing and producing too. Every track on that album had their fingerprints all over it. Too bad the label dropped the ball. The album had big features, a solid sound, but barely got pushed. It showed up on the charts, but nothing close to what it could have done. By the time they dropped the third single, there was barely any promo. No rollout, no real effort behind it. So Static did what he always did when the business got messy. He got back to work, started writing for other people again. Helped Nicole Ray, wrote for the Dr. Dolittle soundtrack, co-wrote Same Old G for Genuine, and even sang backgrounds on it. Then came Anxious, another one for Genuine, and that one blew up. Static was low-key, shaping Genuine's entire sound from behind the curtain, and all of it just setting the stage for what was coming next, the moment that really stamped his name.